What started as a routine patrol quickly turned into an obsession for the older detective. Initially just surveying the crime scene, his attention was drawn to the apartment building across the street. He slipped into the opposite apartment to investigate and found only an overturned chair. Without hesitation, he righted the chair and sat down. That's when he realized the perfect view of the entire crime scene from this vantage point. The killer had been observing his handiwork, and the chair was still warm. The perpetrator had just been watching the police work the scene. At the morgue, the medical examiner showed the detective a bite mark found on the victim's body. Back at the crime scene, he discovered the refrigerator had been broken for a month. When the landlord arrived, she mentioned that the victim had requested repairs, but the maintenance worker never showed up. The detective visited the repair shop where the owner claimed the service call had been canceled. This struck him as suspicious. Why would the victim cancel a necessary repair? He took the list of maintenance workers and quickly focused on a long-haired man. This suspect proved remarkably brazen. After noticing he was being followed, he invited the detective to go camping with him. Feeling mocked, the detective stole the man's garbage, but only found a half-eaten pizza inside. He had the medical examiner analyze the bite marks on the pizza, which matched those on the victim. However, without direct evidence, the case remained circumstantial. The detective brought the long-haired man in for questioning and showed him photos from the crime scene. The suspect examined each one with disturbing fascination, which enraged the detective enough to slam him against the wall. Despite the suspect's obvious enjoyment of the images, clearly reliving his crime, he remained confident, knowing the police lacked sufficient evidence for an arrest. After 24 hours, they had to release him. Convinced of his guilt, the detective planned with his partner to break into the suspect's home to search for evidence. That night, while the long-haired man was at a bar, the detective skillfully picked the lock and entered the apartment while his partner kept watch outside. Strangely, the apartment was immaculately clean. Then the detective noticed something off about the floorboards. Underneath, he discovered newspapers about murder cases from 20 years ago, preserved like treasured collectibles. Suddenly, police sirens surrounded the building. His partner realized they'd been set up. The long-haired man was calmly watching from nearby. He had called in a false report of a homicide at his own address, bringing a large police response. The detective barely escaped by climbing to the roof. Despite the suspect's cunning, they continued surveillance. In an unexpected move, the long-haired man invited the detective's partner for a ride, claiming he would show him where the bodies from the 20-year-old murder cases were buried. The only condition was that he come alone. Without hesitation, the partner got into the car.